Thank you for joining Comfortable Conversations TV, and we are back live and uncut. And we are doing our Life in Question edition. This is the Urban Book of Questions, which one of my best friends wrote this book, Stella Nova. So the Life in Question edition, we are going to be asking our people questions out of her book. This book is so wonderful because it's good for parties, it's good for relationships, it's good for just getting to know the people who you are surrounded around, and also getting to know your partner and your friends. And it's actually fun for different gatherings, family gatherings, just to get and hear different people's opinions on what they think when asked certain questions. So this is the Life in Question edition for Comfortable Conversations TV. And we have a very special guest today. We have Calloway.
Oh, thank you. Hey.
How are you doing?
I am good now that I'm out of ATL traffic. I'm blessed to be here in one piece, and I'm ecstatic about actually being here on your show.
Awesome.
So thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us about yourself and where you're from.
Well, now this is a deep, it's not a simple question. I'm a Southern boy. I'm from Tennessee, actually, and most people think I'm from Atlanta because I rep Atlanta so hard. But I've been here since 1998. But I'm from Tennessee, from Chattown.
Okay.
Went to high school in Nashville. Started college in basketball in Memphis, right down the street from Orange Mound. So I'm a Southern boy, all in all. But I'm from Tennessee, and I rep the A because this is where I stayed.
Okay, so how long have you been here in Atlanta?
I've been here since 98, so I stopped counting. I've been here longer than any other city, so.
Yeah.
2000 would have been 2024, so 26 years.
Oh, wow.
26 years. So
okay, so they say.
Most people have been alive.
Right. So they say if you've been in Georgia for over 10 years, like,
yeah,
you're from here.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So how was growing up in Tennessee?
Tennessee was, it was exciting for me because I just didn't know any better. So I call it my urban innocence.
Okay.
I was into sports. I played everything from baseball, football, basketball, cross country, track, to stay out of trouble. So just coming out of, I guess the young folk call it the mud, getting out of the mud.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was in the mud. So I made the best of it. A lot of life lessons from all the party. Granny used to have a whole jewel of things that she would put in my mind to keep me abreast of not knowing that I was where I was.
Right.
One of the ones that stick with me was play to win.
Okay.
One is don't take no wooden nickels.
Right.
So
right.
all these little.
My grandmother used to say, don't take no wooden nickels.
But I was the only one listening, and I it would confuse me. Because I didn't understand these riddles that she was throwing in my head. It's
right.
like, what's for you is for you. I'm like, hey, just talk to me. So I mean, it was exciting, but it was small.
Okay.
A lot of people from Chattanooga, Samuel Jackson was right down the street from us. Usher was one of the guys that was in the neighborhood, in my cousin's neighborhood, because they lived in the suburbs. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of people, Bessie Smith and all of this stuff, but I'm happy to be here because it's a larger stage.
Right.
It gives me a little bit more opportunity to continue to grow and do the things I love doing.
Awesome. So getting to the things that you love doing, what are those things?
It used to be basketball. I could have sworn it was in the NBA. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going pro. But what had happened was, I went up to Memphis to walk onto the University of Memphis, and the first day of signing, I had to go through a community college to go to the University of Memphis. They had this contract in place where if you received a contract, a meal card, and housing, you couldn't work.
Really?
So I was already a father. So my choices were to send my son home. Mm-hmm. We don't do that where we're from.
Right.
That's my responsibility. Or, accept my responsibility. So that was the year I hung up my shoes. Didn't play basketball anymore. So right now, I enjoy an occasional cigar, bourbon, and then, my passion and my life choices are one and the same. I love film. I love dissecting things. You know, if I'm looking at a movie, I can tell you within the first 5 minutes what the timing is, if the climax is off, how the casting was. Somebody's way too tall than the other person. But yeah, my pastimes is my dog hanging out by the fire pit, having a cigar, and some type of bourbon.
Okay.
Good conversation every now and then.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm real simple. I guess that's where that country twang come from, and I love it.
It's something that you said that about watching movies, because me being in the entertainment business and the film industry as well, I'm the same. It's so hard for me to watch movies and television shows and not pay attention to what's going on in the background, the actors, the editing, the continuity, you know. So when I can actually watch something to where I'm not paying attention to none of that, and the actors are great and I can feel it and shed a tear, you know, and it just seems so super real, it's just amazing. I love productions like that.
I mean, it's done right. If you don't have to guess at it, and you can fool me, if you can fool me, and I don't know exactly how it's going to end, I'm gonna get on this web and I'm gonna, you know, kind of find out who was the director, who was the writer, how it was put together, and I'm gonna study you. And you know, that's how you become one of the best. You keep studying other people.
Oh yeah.
You keep on keeping on.
Definitely. So tell us about your work in the film industry and what all you've done and actually what all you do.
Okay. Well, I have a few titles, and humble beginnings. A lot of times when you don't have that big trunk of money following you everywhere you go, you have to wear many hats. So I started off kind of humble. When I got here, nobody would take a chance on me. And I actually was doing audio, I was doing music. So I had an internship at LaFace Records. And they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to give me a free job.
Wow. So
I was at the Art Institute of American Intercontinental, right next door. And every day I would sit there in their lobby for a year.
Wow.
You had the Rich Program, Tony Braxton, Pink had just came out, New World Order, all these groups walking past me, all these celebrities, and I'm sitting there begging for a free job until I cornered L.A. Reid and Babyface at the employment down the street at Circuit City. And a week later, they called me back.
Wow.
And they were like, look, you know, we want you to work for us, but we're going to air us a room probably 5 times as big as this. And they gave me my first break. You know, Shanti Dawes over there, big shout out to them for giving me an opportunity to start my producing career. So I started with producing different groups throughout Atlanta, and then I made the transition behind the scenes, which I really fell in love with. We had a TV station in South Africa called Aphrodisiac Show.
Oh, nice.
I copied that basically off of a mentor. I was working for WHTV, and I wanted to do my own thing. So I bumped into Blair Underwood, Tisha Campbell, and Dwayne Martin at the Fox. And we had this ultimate plan where we were going to just bump into somebody and we're going to film them. But we got all the interviews, and that kind of started that. So we had all these celebrities, and we were traveling the world, just putting this TV show together. For South Africa, we had a South African host, and I would actually put the demographics and all the commercials together. And then, you know, I just kept growing. From that particular point, I wanted to do a movie. Whispers on Lake was born. That was late. They asked me what my best project was. It would probably have been Highway 416, which is a movie I wrote for Will Smith, Eva Mendes. And I pitched it to him, scared out of my mind. I didn't know what to do, but I had a professor, and he thought like I did. He said all they can do is say no.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So I picked up the phone, and Will Smith's college buddy ran Overbrook, which was his production company. So I just picked up, Googled the phone, and you know, was on the phone, listened to a ring, 1 ring, 2 rings, 3 rings. I said, they ain't gonna pick up, but at least I'm brave, right? The 4th ring, they picked up.
They picked up.
And I was like, oh my God, I gotta become a professional voice. And I pitched it, my elevator pitch. The lady said, you know, I like it. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean you like it? You know, the first pitch, the first phone conversation.
Right.
So she patched me through. So now the intensity is a little bit more. And the next lady picked up the phone. She goes, I like it, send it to me.
I know your heart dropped.
Dropped. So yeah, that was one of the biggest and wildest projects that never made it. Because I was talked out of my dreams by my mom, which loves me to death. But one thing I can say is that you gotta follow your heart. Sometimes you gotta take chances.
Yes.
I didn't know Will. I didn't really have an attorney. So they waited on that, and I never pushed it out. And that same script is still collecting dust because I wrote it way too large.
Wow.
Yeah. So to answer collectively with all these little segments here, what do? I'm a filmmaker. I do anything from directing, editing, special effects, and I'm a major wizard when it comes to writing.
Okay.
So podcasts, we did have a couple podcasts that we did. Talk and Smoke podcast was one of them, and that did good during the pandemic. And then the other ones I was just kind of hosting. But I love film.
Yeah.
Any genre I can get my hands into that makes sense, I can make a difference, I'm all for it. So get at me. Exposeconcepts.com, baby. I'm here.
So what would your message be to someone upcoming in the film industry that you would give them to inspire them?
One thing that I share with everybody is don't quit your daydream. I heard this young lady that was on, I think, American Idol. Her mom passed away from cancer. And she had this message that was golden, that sticks with me. I have a coffee mug that says, don't quit your daydream. Some of the lyrics went, if it doesn't scare the hell out of you, you're probably not doing the right thing. So it's gonna be scary. Don't be afraid to work hard. Don't take the first or the 13th no.
Oh yeah.
And you just gotta keep it moving. It's gonna be hard. If it's easy, don't do it.
Exactly.
It's probably the devil's playground if it's easy. So yeah, don't quit. Continue to hone your craft, stay humble, and it'll come eventually. I know in music it used to be 8 to 10 years before artists got a break.
Yeah.
So in film, just imagine, this Hollywood is relatively new here in Atlanta. It could take, 50 years, or it could take your next project. Right. You never know. Yeah. The time you quit is that thing that you just didn't know about. And it drops, and it's like now your homeboy or your homegirl, they're doing what they want to do. Right. And you're working for somebody else, and you go into your grave with your dream. So take the foundations that you learned, continue to hone your craft, stay humble, and most importantly, don't you ever quit, don't give up. I don't care what it is, you ain't got the money, go get the money. Do it. That's right. Just do it. Yeah. How do you feel about mental health? And it's so huge now. Not only just in the entertainment field, but just everyday life. What's your take on that? I think it's extremely important to make sure you have the right people around you to encourage you, to uplift you. A lot of your social marketing classes were having mentored uplines and downlines. The reason why it is so important is that in today's age, we have all this social media around us, and so much more influence. So you can have the bullies are multiplied. It's like they put an amplification on it. And it's like, I can say one thing positive, and there's 1,000 people that's hating on you. Right. Just remember that the people that are being more critical are the people who ain't trying to do nothing, no way. So mental health is extremely important. I know for myself, a lot of times, when you see people succeeding at things and moving, those are the loners. When people are sleeping, I'm actually in the basement doing it. So you have to tell them it. You can't keep it to yourself. You have to find somebody that's not just liking you for what you're doing. Right. They'll show their tail real fast. So surround your circle with the right people. Make sure you got a God influence, upline, and stay with it. Mental health is extremely important. Our people are taking themselves out daily. It's a
Yes.
spiritual warfare at this particular point, and it is real.
It is.
It could be the people that say they really love you, and they have mental issues and don't know they're hurting you, discouraging you, the harshness of it, because they never got an opportunity to live out their own goals and dreams and aspirations. So they're going to take it out on you. You have to be strong. You have to surround yourself with like-minded people. So, I know it's not cool in media and film and all that, but I'm going to say it, find yourself a church or in a spiritual realm of things. You understand? Church doesn't mean, no, I ain't cool. It's still positive.
It is.
It's still worship. If you're spiritual, you get somewhere and meditate and be one.
Yes.
Be one and make sure, I brainwash myself.
Therapy, counseling.
Therapy.
A lot of people think that they don't need it.
Our community don't think they need it. So journaling is really good. I use journaling. Every day I wake up, I'll put, God first, and whatever jewelers is gonna actually motivate me. I'll go to TJ's, then I'll start my day. My things to do on my personal side, my business side, my notes and ideas, and I will stay on that.
Yeah.
And then when it gets too heavy, you take that hat off. You start writing and journaling about whatever it is that's bothering you. You have to get it out. You have to tell them. You have to have a circle that's going to make sure that they really love you for who you are. I heard this gentleman, I forget his name, he's in the fashion world, but he says, I'd rather be surrounded by the people whose eyes light up when they see me coming.
Yes.
And the problem is, it's very few of us.
It is.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
The president's coming, who cares? It's going to be World War III, who cares? As long as I eat. So it's, mental illness is very important. There's numbers out there that I don't have, but I'm pretty sure my new friend here is going to give us some information.
I will. So if anyone out there, if you're having any type of mental issues yourself or a family member or friend, please reach out. I have so many different contacts to different therapists, counselors, and like he was saying, you don't always have to go to church, but if you want to go to church, don't let different people discourage you. They all be on that. Church folks are hypocrites. I'm not going to church, this, that, and other, whatever. Sometimes you just need to go and hear a word and be surrounded by people. Everybody is human. Everybody falls short. Nobody's perfect. So you have to get the help that you need. So I do have contacts, so you guys can always send a message, email us at comfortableconversations@gmail.com, inbox us, call us, and we'll get you that information. So, our Life of Question edition. So I'm just gonna open it up, and you tell me left or right, and I'm gonna pick a question, either on the left or right hand side.
Okay. All right. You ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Let's see. Am I ready? I say ready, so I want to get ready.
Okay.
So my spirit is telling me left.
Left. Okay. All right. Have you ever been asked, forced to do anything uncomfortable at work? And if so, what was it and what were you asked to do?
I've never been asked or forced to do something that was uncomfortable at work. And if so, what was it? Whew. So my background before film and all that, put food on the table, was sales as well. So, felt uncomfortable.
And in sales, you're pretty much kind of working independently.
Dude, everything.
Okay.
You have to. You gotta eat what you kill.
Okay, so we gonna go to look. I know about sales. Look, 25 years sales, marketing, advertising.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I know. Okay, so we're gonna pick another question. What's the worst name you've ever been called by someone in a heated argument?
There's a Spanish guy that I befriended, and his family, and this was in an earlier stage, and he insulted me, and he called me Negro. Okay, so the backstory to Negro, if you look in a crayon box or you kind of study Spanish, Negro is black. So he was actually insulting me in a polite way. They used to call me MLK at work at this particular dealership. And the first thought was to match his energy and to be really ignorant.
Yeah.
But I was one of the only people that looked like me out there. So I stopped and smiled, and I used my history background. And I said, you know what? You're worse off than I am, in so many words. I said, because, you know, I understand who I am and where I come from and whose I am. I said, you on the other hand do not. I said, I'll pray for you. And it hurts more to elevate above it. I said, I'll pray for you, because I know you didn't mean that. And then you gave me a negative, you know, just to kind of get me riled off.
Yeah.
Now, really, I was telling you about coming from my mother and all that stuff. But you also have to be, you have to elevate your mindset.
Yeah.
You can't let somebody take you there. So by me saying I'll pray for him, you know, and I looked at him, we didn't hug and we didn't dap up, and then I said, I'll pray for you. I said, that's how you feel about me, just stay away from me. So so that was one of the most difficult things that has ever happened to me, because everything else you have to have tough skin. You know, you're a hero today, you're a zero tomorrow.
Right.
Get out of my office, that sort of thing. You know, so that you know.
And you have to try not to let anyone take you out of your character.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be hard. Don't get me wrong, sometimes. But
depends on where you are in life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So definitely the growth has to be there.
That's
All right.
true.
Do you feel that you've accomplished all of your personal and professional goals?
No, I say that in part. A person that sits in a comfortable position will meet his demise really quickly, because you become comfortable. To me, my goal is to leave a carbon footprint of myself and who I am and the work that I've actually done behind. That means I will never reach a perfection. That means I will study my craft, sharpen my sword, and be the best version of me. You never know who's looking at you. You know, people can learn something positive about you, just like they can learn something negative about you. So there will never be a climax to the point where I'm too close to the sun and I'm getting scorched. So no, I have not attained everything I want to be. I made a few movies, I made some TV shows, but you know, I look up to a lot of people that paved the way for me.
Right.
When I was on the set begging just to be in a music video, I got my casting job from Gary Entertainment. David Myers, you know, I learned from him because he was burning tape from one end to the other. He didn't know I was watching it. Benny Boom, you know, one of the
shout out to Benny Boom.
Benny Boom, boy, he was killing it.
Yes.
I thought things was a little weird when I met him, because I'm on the set and Little X, which was another one, was cussing Benny Boom out. And if you ever met Benny Boom, he ain't no small dude. He just beefed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, you gonna let him talk to you like that? He said, man, my job, chill out. And I remember him taking my reel and watching it and giving me some critique. Hype Williams is another person that I studied. Hype was real good in colors, one of the only African American directors on MTV during the Michael Jackson era. He brought us to, well, past, I would say, just a BET, and he started making movies.
Yes, shout out to Hype. Yeah,
it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Brian Barber, Chris, Spike Lee back in the day, Deion Taylor. I look at a lot of his stuff right now. So me falling in love with other people's work, that propels me to want to do better.
Yeah.
You know, we're in the South, so you Tyler Perry. So the answer to that, personally, no. Personally, I think I'm a little more lax because I'm led by the Spirit. I believe in destiny, and again, that teeter or that pillar of doing the right thing, doing the next right thing. So yeah, I keep working out, trying to get that done.
Yeah.
I won't smoke as many cigarettes, you know. I'll continue to meditate. I'll continue to pray. I'll continue to teach my son. I learn a lot from teaching my youngest son. He's a 9-year-old. He's my biggest project because our goal is to change that young king's thought process.
Right.
And so that he understands that our goal is to make sure he's better than us.
That's right.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
The other one's grown, 28, 33, 35. Yeah. They're grown. We love you too. But just a guide in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I'm not there. And I don't know if I'll ever be there. But every day I'll strive. I'm both personal and on my business journey.
Awesome. So tell us about the film and any other upcoming projects that you have coming out that you would want to let the world know.
Sure. I'll start with what's given first and foremost. Whispers on the Lake, and there's a lot of copycats out there right now. I was looking at Channel 2 News, and there's a gentleman who's doing the same thing I've already done. And I'm like, I love you, you're a brother, so I'm going to figure out, how that works out.
Right.
But Whispers on the Lake is a story about a town called Oscarville, Georgia. Most people know it as Lake Lanier. I took fact and fiction and broke it down into a horror movie. This horror movie, in the synopsis, basically a young lady who's eloping with the bootlegger's son. She gets killed and raped on her wedding day. She makes a pact with the devil, and then she's stuck in the median, inviting souls back to this house, so that she can continue to live. So it's Whistles on the Lake. There's a lot of rich history behind it. They flooded a town called Oscarville during the era of sharecropping, and there's graves, there's schools, there's all kind of things down there. Usher's son actually died down there.
Yeah. When you say Lake Lanier,
right.
It scares people because all you think of is death.
And the other thing is that there's an Indian tribe. They had a burial ground there as well. So you got two different energy forces pulling on top of the scientific of the tide hitting a school or a cross that's sticking up or a fence or a tree that pulls you up under. So you can only see about 5 inches in front of your face, and it's kind of hard to swim in that water. But Whispers on the Lake is out now at exposedconcepts.com. It's closer to Halloween now. We're starting to push out some distribution. How can you get it? exposedconcepts.com. You can reach out to us for all your filming needs. We have started open up packages for the small business associates, the people that can't really afford commercials and media for events and things of that nature. So we're starting in a county called Rockdale County, up in Conyers, Georgia. We got about 300,000 people. We just actually merged with the Citizen magazine.
Nice.
So if you have a business, whether it be a roofing company, things of that nature, this is outside of my will, but it's how I started.
Right.
So you don't make a movie every day. So we just signed a contract with them, with Citizen. So if you are an SBA company, a small business association, tier company, been in business for 2 years or less, or you make less than $250,000 a year, reach out to us at 678-755-5533, and we will get you those packages over. Other than that, we do have a few contracts with this line. I think it was today, yesterday. There's an event that we're just kind of capturing with this hip hop podcast called Platinum Mics with Van Gaither and Robs. Big shout out to them. There will be they're doing a showcase with, I think the young lady's name is Dawn. There's DJ. I don't want to mess it up. But they're actually pushing out like a wind down, and it's for the grown folks, and it's a pretty deep thing. But as far as movies and stuff, documentaries, we're going to the film festivals starting November called Biggs Not For Profit that we shot last year. This is for all you guys out there to make sure you guys are staying accountable. If you want to know anything else that's coming up, exposedconcepts.com. I am yours truly, J. Calloway. 678-755-5533. Talk to you when I see you.
Y'all heard it. So I hope y'all got all that information down. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
joining
having me.
us today.
Thank you for having me. Get me out of the, I call it a dungeon. I'm always in front of the computer editing, so thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yes,
I really appreciate
we will
you guys.
definitely be working together
Yes.
in the future.
It's done deal. It's
Yes.
signed and look, y'all got that, right?
Yes.
In the near future,
In the
we
near
will be
future.
working together on a project.
Yes, yes. So again, you guys, thank you for joining Comfortable Conversations TV. Before we end it off, I just want to just have a moment of silence. For those who don't know, we lost our in-house photographer, Divine Photos. D Divine, you guys know him by, he passed away last week, so we want to send our condolences off to his family. Please pray for his family, and we just want to have just a moment of silence just to remember him. He has been our in-house photographer for years, a very good friend of mine, very special person, good spirit. He was definitely just one of a kind. Everybody loved him. He just had just such a vibe, and just a genuine, kind-hearted, loving person. And he would truly be missed, and we will make sure that his legacy lives forever. So many of our clients' dreams have came true in television, film, and fashion due to Divine and his wonderful work. So we would definitely keep his legacy going. All right, and thank you for joining Comfortable Conversations TV, and we are out.